Anyways, so we want to talk about the ejection, or we want to talk about Steph's 28, Jimmy's 25. What do we want to talk about? I think it's pretty interesting how we're just winning these games and there's no Draymond Green out there. That's very interesting to me. It's checking out. This is definitely checking out. This is definitely tracking. This is definitely checking out. Steph Curry 26, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. Jimmy Butler 25, 2 assists, 21 shots. Definitely aggressive tonight. I don't think they miss Draymond that much, y'all. I'm telling y'all. All that other shit, even on defense. Even on
I feel
defense.
like yeah, they don't miss Draymond at all, but
He
I
just got to
feel
come
like
off the bench.
this is the type of team that they can actually get away with not having Draymond though. Like the Suns play a lot of guard
I don't think they
in
need
a weird
Draymond, man.
way.
Even if it's Denver, we don't need Draymond anymore. It's over. He needs to go. I'm sorry. He's a turnover machine.
Uh,
He can't play on offense, and he's not a great defender anymore. So I mean, he's old. It's over.
All right,
well, that's
let's
the
not
problem.
cap now. That's too
They'll
much dip
never
on your
do
chip.
that though.
Too much dip on
Steph
your
will
chip.
never let that
Is
You guys,
it?
happen
you
though.
guys
So
think Draymond
you
is still
can
good? I don't
Is it
think he's
though?
still good. I'm
Are you
asking.
sure?
Do you guys think he's still good on defense? Draymond Green?
he'll have his niche. I still think he has his niche moments here and there. Like there's definitely instances where they could really use him against like a specific matchup of sorts. But he's definitely not like starter worthy minutes, I would say. Like it's just past that point.
Listen, let me tell you something. You think TJD had a good game tonight? Because I do.
I do. I do.
Okay.
I do. It was
Let me,
great actually on defense.
I'm gonna be dead ass honest with you, bro. Like the this is what the formula used to be. Draymond, keep Draymond on the floor offensively, okay? And he's going to create, stops defensively. And a lot of the times he would create stops in such a way where he would like break up plays and he would do all this stuff. But I'm telling you, like anyone in the front court with him, right? Like it's the biggest detriment to have him in the front court with him. And sure, you can say this game and it's a throwaway and all of this stuff, but after you left, I mean, you know, it's only one game, but if you're really paying attention, you're starting to see a theme here. And I'm not talking about defensively, I'm talking about offensively. There's a theme out there. Like, I don't think they're talented enough to where they're playing one hand behind their back on offense. And that's kind of the theme that I've been seeing. When he's off the court, Jimmy Butler has more space to operate. Bro, even fucking TJD had more space to operate tonight. You know? Five
Fact.
points, 7 rebounds. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like it's funny because I remember when we had Tony Allen and we were seeing Tony Allen in 15 and we just completely disregarded Tony Allen, right? And Memphis wasn't a team of spacing even back then. And, you know, when they weren't guarding Tony Allen, it threw a monkey wrench in Memphis's offense. You know what I'm saying? Like, when they used Bogut to guard him, right? It just threw a whole monkey wrench in their offense.
They
And
couldn't. They had no counter. They had no counter.
and they really had no counter for it, right? Because if you look at the first couple of games, right, Tony Allen was a menace on defense, right? And he was allowed to get ultra physical and all of that. Bro, they put Andrew Bogut on him, and it really forced them to go offense defense. You know what I'm saying? And that is where Draymond is on defense right now. You know what I'm saying? or on offense, like they have to make a wicked concession for him, right? And it was cool when you had like all the shooters out there, and you had Butler, or you had Clay Thompson, you had KD, you had all these guys who could move off ball, and he was like the perfect trigger man. You know what I'm saying? But we don't have a lot of guys that we can, throw the ball in there to and just kind of do that thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just seeing that concession more and more and more. And as it's a combination of the team getting worse and him getting worse as well offensively, because I still think he breaks up plays defensively and all of that, like that he does do, but there is like a spacing problem out there with him, and they're not guarding him. You know what I'm saying? I don't think how see how people can watch this game and not see them not guarding him. Or in this game, you saw how much freedom was out there for other people. And sure, you got like the Steph 2-man thing, right? But I've been noticing for like 5 years now how teams do certain things in that 5-man or in the 2-man action, right? And we lose a lot of games. And if you look at why we lose some of these games, is because they just throw a monkey wrench in it. Like, you get to the end of games, right? You got to have the two best players having the ball. And Jimmy Butler was here and he didn't get the ball, It was really Steph and Draymond doing a 2-man thing. And the reason why they're doing that is because teams don't guard Draymond, and Steph got to run around and do all of this shit. And this is something that we've been complaining about for maybe 7 years now. it's we've been complaining about it for a very long time, and they somehow figure it out, and they win games, they win playoff games, they win championships. But when I watch Steph out there, and you get Jimmy Butler in there, I'm telling you, like, there is a dynamic out there where, if we get Jimmy Butler, I think you should just lean into the Jimmy Butler shit. I know it's going to look different, but you know, the Steph and Jimmy 2-man action, I feel like would be hella effective if they leaned into that instead. Don't y'all agree?
Bro, like this game alone, they had to do Steph Jimmy 2-man game because Draymond got thrown out, and it's just so funny that it had to take that for them to occur. So what the fuck is gonna happen if Draymond
Yeah.
is back in the forefront now without him getting tossed?
But doesn't it look way better though? Like,
Of
you know what I'm
course, it
saying?
looks way better. We've been asking for this entire time, Urkel.
Yeah.
For
Why did it
sure,
take
for
them
sure,
like a
for sure.
million fucking years to figure that something so simple? The fans could figure it out first.
No,
I mean,
because
it
the
is
thing
it is
is,
one game. It is one game. Let's calm down.
no, no,
Calm
no, no,
down.
no. It's not just
What do
one
you
game.
mean
It's
it's
been a couple of
one
games now.
game, dude?
It's
Dante,
been a
come
couple of
on now.
games now.
Eric, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
First of all, Wagwan, Wagwan. So,
Wagwan.
yo, you see, that's why I'm
Hey, that's
saying
fire. I
that.
like that. I like that. What's that? What's that right there? Wagwan. I like that.
What's
Yo,
up? What's up?
that's
What's
an
up?
island thing, my man.
Wagwan. Yeah.
Yo, Eric, you see, that's why I say, Kerr, yeah, I will never forgive Kerr. You see, all that stuff, for me, he doesn't know when to apply stuff. I mean, there's time to do certain thing and then not doing certain thing. Like the Drummond and Steph Curry thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can do that in the game, but you don't he consistently do the same thing again and again and again and again. As you can see now, you see this game today without Draymond Green out there, and you see Jimmy Butler playing. You see how
Yeah.
fluid the team was, and I agree with everything you said. And my second thing is, I want you to talk about the thing you said. I was listening to the Discord thing. You talk about
Yeah.
why the dude didn't get DNP because he told Kuminga what Kerr wanna do. Can you
You know what,
elaborate on
bro?
that?
No, no, no. Let's keep that in Discord, because if I say that on here, people are going to go back on the timeline and they're going to say I'm lying, right? So
Oh,
let's just
okay.
keep that in Discord. I'm not looking for no attention, especially that type of attention, because the first thing that people are going to do is that they're going to say I'm lying. But I mean, to segue into that, Will Richard tonight had 20 points, 6 of 7, 4 from three. And he had 5 rebounds, right? So, if can Will Richard guard or not?
Well, he's bigger than most of the other
Way better than
tiny people that
Pods,
they
that's for
have.
sure.
So I
Not
would say
really.
yes to that
He's
question.
Not
getting better.
really.
He's
And
gonna
number
get
He's
better than
two,
really.
Pods.
We can
I
say
would
that now
rather
because
I
it's one
would
machine guarding thing.
if
It's
It's a
Steve
small
is
sample
actually an
size.
rep.
intelligent if Steve is an intelligent person, he would actually have Will Richard be in closing clutch moment game situations so we can develop more reps there. So he knows how to
Exactly.
close better. But for
That's
I
some
just
correct.
reason,
think.
he has
I
to
just
play
think
I agree.
tonight
CP
is the
fucking
biggest
two
example
over him. Still.
of
I agree.
Steve Kerr being wrong about something. Like, and it might seem like it's just a Will Richard thing, but I think it's what been people have been saying for a while now. That it's only because Steve Kerr has came out and said it, but we've known that there's been politics with the team of people who are older getting more time to play and whatnot. And we see tonight that Will Richard got banished from the lineup because, as Steve Kerr, as the devil himself said, nah, I gotta give uh I gotta give these older dudes run.
You
The
stupid.
fuck?
You're stupid.
You know my thing is with Steve Kerr. Trust me, guys. Wait till next game. Steve Kerr doesn't like people to prove him wrong, so he bench Will. He played well today, right? He played well today. Next time, he's gonna bench him again so they can prove them on again because that's the one thing I hate about Steve Kerr. And yo, I'll be honest with you, man. I don't want him in the team anymore, man. I'm not that type of guy, but
Me
I,
too.
I don't want him anymore, man.
Me too. Him and Draymond, they can go together.
Let me be honest with you. The Draymond thing, um, the unintended consequence of Jimmy Butler being here is that when you get a second option, okay, that second option um has to have the ball, and you know, Steph can't have the Steph is willing to play off the ball, but you got to be able to, sure you can do like the motion stuff or whatever, but I feel like sometimes when you do that, you're kind of begging for turnovers. You know what I'm saying? And the guy that has the ball, he needs to have a steady hand. And last year when I was watching the damn team last year, when after Jimmy Butler got here, what I started to notice is that the turnovers went way down. When I mean way down, bro, they went way down. You know what I'm saying? And we weren't shooting the ball any better. Teams were shooting the ball at the same rate and all of that, right? So, like the playmaking value went up. Like if you look at all the advanced stuff, the playmaking went up. And with the playmaking going up, the turnovers went down. Turnovers went down, offensive rating went up. We were shooting the ball exactly the same before the trade as we were after the trade, and it had everything to do with the turnovers. But you saw, like, if you think about like an average possession, like when Jimmy had the ball and he was orchestrating the offense and all of that, he was even elevating the lineups that were non-Steph lineups. You know what I'm saying? Like he was playing against worse players in that second unit, and he was setting people up. He was scoring the ball and all of that, right? So him, Draymond, and Steph were able to figure it out. But if you notice, during that time, what was happening was that Draymond kind of, took a back seat. This season, I think Kerr is like really, really trying to incorporate Draymond. And, it's almost like Draymond is overdoing it. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like he's trying to show that he can be really effective, right? So, three things that I noticed, right? The last game, after the game, he comes out and he says, I'm a really good fucking passer, right? Do y'all remember that? I'm a really good fucking passer, right? He says that, and then you hear the thing where he says, or you hear the thing about the three guys or whatever, the three centers. Hear that thing come out, right? And you know, you hear like these different things, right? So I pay attention, bro. Like I listen to everything and I listen to what people say. I look at the body language, all of that. And, he's going to have to figure out now how to play a different role because you got somebody here that does the thing that he does better. You know what I'm saying? So, Hopefully, they can figure out how to use him. Um, this is what I've always advocated for. You got to be able to shoot the ball better. So maybe he can become that spot up shooter, and he can. But it can't be the situation where people are just running off screens and he's at the top running that offense. I don't think that shit works, bro.
You think he
Because
can ever? You think he can ever become like? This is gonna sound like outlandish as fuck, but I don't care. But you think he could
yeah,
be like a? You know how PJ Tucker used to work for the Rockets? Do you
No,
think he could be something
nah,
even like similar to that?
nah, never.
Hey, I
Because
will say this.
he would have replicated that already.
I will
Mm-mm.
say this. I always was wondering for the longest because I was noticing. I'm like, why is Will Richard getting DNPs? This nigga's talented. This nigga's like pause, but he's a taller inch Jordan Poole on the slight side. So I'm like,
yeah.
what's going on? Like, why he ain't getting more clock? I'm like, he need
Is
to be
Well,
getting clock.
what's
well,
good, dog?
what's
Oh,
good? What's good?
Oh my god,
Um,
the Packers are so ass. What the hell?
Swamp, answer
Jesus
that.
Christ.
You got to come to Discord to get that answer because if I say it on here, niggas are gonna say I'm lying and I don't know
Yeah,
anything and this, that, and the other. So I want to address that on here,
Will Richard
right?
just he just didn't get no run because Steve Kerr want to look like he don't got an agenda against Kaminga. So he got to spread the DMPs.
Yeah.
So
man,
aesthetically,
that's weird. Nigga, we trying to
no,
win.
it's not weird. It's not weird.
We
It's
trying to
normal
win. They
politics.
trying
I mean,
to
Nah,
they
it's
trying
not
to.
weird.
Jonathan,
It's
it's
not
not.
weird. It's
John,
normal.
This is
It's
Steve
almost
NBA
expected,
politics.
dude.
with
This is
Steph Draymond on the
expected.
team, they don't play
That's
rookie
not
This is
stuff.
exactly accurate, but
They
it's in the ballpark.
that's the clean
people
way
were
of
saying the
saying it
same thing for
without
Moody. Like we don't
that's
play
the
rookies.
That's the clean way of saying it. It's not even a play rookies thing because Kerr played Moody. I mean, pause. He played Paz, his stepson, right? So he
Podge is
obviously
Hey, that nigga said stepson. He funny.
right because it looks as if he's almost your stepson. So like I don't know, man. Like there's give or take in there. I think the biggest story, Irk, and I mean, Irk, it's unfortunate, but it's funny that you've this is an inflection point, as you would say, right? In the sense that like Clay went through this, Poole went through this, where there's some type of decision that needs to be made ultimately for the team to be better, whether it's with the group you prefer or not. And we've seen it. Like we've seen it where it was taboo with Wiggins, talking about Wiggins, his whole situation. He's no longer on the team. The rumors about Clay might be moved to the bench, and then Clay was moved to the bench and ultimately left the team. I know Draymond still has value, and somebody asked, could he ever be like PJ Tucker? The thing about PJ Tucker is that even from a passing standpoint, PJ Tucker never really had it in his arsenal. So it was easier for him to just stay in the corner and just focus on shooting for the next couple of years, and he did that very well.
Bruce, but it's not even that though, right? Like
Hmm.
the PJ Tucker thing, it, it was easier to play a guy like that, right? Because, you know, I think a guy like that, you play defense and you shoot the ball when you get the ball, right? So
Right.
you have back then you had Chris
The
Paul
Packers
and
got packed up.
you have Chris Paul and you have James Harden. You know what I'm saying? So those guys run the offense. So you got like these two ball handlers there. Now we don't exactly play like that, even when Draymond ain't on the court, right? Like we try to get more guys activated. And to be honest with you, that approach sometimes is a blessing and it's a curse, right? So here's the blessing of it, right? Like I think for any championship team, if they want to win, they got to have balance on their team, right? You have to have balance. If you don't have balance, more times than not, you're not going to be a championship team. However, you know, the thing about balance is that sometimes your best players ain't getting the ball. You know what I'm saying? But that's where Steph Curry is a cheat code, right? So Steph Curry can operate on the ball, off the ball, and he can still be effective, right? So then you have like the team saying, all right, we need these extra ball handlers out there, right? We need guys that can dribble, even though, like there's probably like two people on the team that can dribble. You know what I'm saying? Um, so you give these other guys the ball and they're not as effective with the ball. However, Steph is out there and he's pulling people away, right? So they have all the world to make space to score to do whatever, right? And that's where Steph is a cheat code. I don't think you could achieve this style of play on a non-Steph Curry team. You know what I'm saying? So you have to
Yeah, you
have,
couldn't. You couldn't.
right? So it's kind of like back in the 90s. I remember I used to watch Reggie Miller, right? And Reggie Miller would get all of the off-ball stuff that he wanted, and it would really fuck up teams even back then. The thing about Reggie Miller, he did not have people to pass him the ball. You know what I'm saying? So they would run these plays for him, but you really didn't you really couldn't create that gravity and all of that stuff, because you didn't have people to pass him the ball. Traditionally over the years, we've had Sean, we've had Andre, we have Draymond, KD, like all types of people out there to make these plays, right? So, we play different in that sense. But I think when you get Jimmy Butler in there, bro, you gotta lean into the Jimmy Butler shit. Like you pay him
One
all that
hundred
money,
percent. One hundred
you
percent.
pay him all that money, and I've been saying it all season long. I was like, if you pay him that money, you probably need to like to adjust the style of play. And last year, I think they leaned into him more, right? Like he had the ball way more, and he was making plays. This season, this time, and last season, this time coincide because it has one thing in common: we were experimenting, right? I.e., we were trying to make Draymond work. You know what I'm saying? In both situations, it was all centered around making Draymond work. Why? Because Draymond is our best defensive player and we're leaning defense, right? So we got to make sure that Draymond is activated out there. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. That second half of the season, we ran into a shitload of turnovers. Why were we doing that? Because we were a traffic cop in the shit. And the only person out there that could really create space and the movement and all of that stuff was Steph Curry. And Draymond was trying to force the ball all over the place. And to be honest with you, we don't have those type of athletes. We just don't. You know what I'm saying? So that's the quandary that we ran into last season. Bro, I looked at these numbers and I sliced them up. Bro, I even did it live on playback. I was like, let me do this, right? And I did the exercise real time. I did it on screen. I did the filters and I even had like a notepad on screen, bro. And I was using my notepad on screen through my iPad. You know what I'm saying? I was screen sharing my iPad and I was just writing down. I was like, as of this date, this is the offense that we were running. These are the factors, right? And I spliced it up into three different parts, right? And I'm telling you, the part where we were trying to force the shit through Draymond, that's the part that the turnovers were up, the offense was down, and we were just struggling. You know what I'm
Super
saying?
predictable, bro.
Yeah,
Super.
so our offense is predictable. That is true. It's
Yeah.
super predictable. And I don't think that we can go that far or go that long and